Welcome to the threesome, y'all. This is the podcast where the three of us make every attempt to discuss at least three topics each week. Doesn't always work out that way. See last week for proof. If you are back for more of our foolishness, we thank you for putting up with us.
Gracias.
And if this is your first time finding us, we are so glad you're here. And I apologize.
How the fuck did that happen?
Right.
And she's the only one apologizing.
I'm the only one apologizing because,
You'll see.
old people are. They don't care. Anyway.
Well, and you the oldest thing on here.
Right?
You are actually 10 days older than me. We've had this discussion. Anyway.
Right.
The sultry voice that you hear is our point person and optimistic realist. We call her Star.
Dear people other than black folks,
Oh, shit.
Wakanda is not a real place.
Dear black folks. Boy.
I was going to say, the hell it ain't. Anyway, the dulcet baritone you hear is our man in the middle. I can't even talk tonight. Damn. Long week.
It's gonna be a long day.
Is our man in the middle and our voice of reason. We call him Magic.
Hello, I'm Fernando from Peak Energy.
What?
Okay.
They'll get it.
I guess I need to Google.
And bringing up the rear, as always, I identify as the pragmatic contrarian of our group, and they call me Storm. So unnecessary. I bring my own, thank you. Anyway.
Okay. Now, before we even get started, I need y'all to go on your phone and Google Fernando from Peak Energy because that shit is funny.
Yes.
Find that.
I feel like I've seen that, but
It's been making the rounds on the internet.
right, and I feel like I've seen it, but I just I don't know. I don't quite
Fernando
remember what it
from
was,
TPG.
but
Hello?
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah, I saw that. Yep. Yep.
Oh, she was looking it up.
Yeah, the dude that was the neighbor, right?
Yeah.
He meant to say neighbor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen that.
Nigger slipped out.
Yeah,
It happens.
right.
I didn't
it
even
just
hear
slipped
him
out.
introduce his name, though.
Oh,
My man said his name, address, company he works for. That
right,
Monday at work had to be fun.
right.
Yeah. That was terrible.
Yeah, but I mean that's white folks for you. I accidentally called you a nigger. I really meant to call you a neighbor. I mean, come on.
My bad.
Yeah, because
Yeah, that
the
was
words sound just alike, and
Might have in his head.
I'm sure they did.
This big black neighbor.
Right. And I'm sure he called all the white people, in the neighborhood. He probably called them niggas too, but
Listen, people were on DLUV's post talking about it was just a Freudian slip, like in order.
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
Freudian slip.
I don't think people understand what Freudian slips are. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that is exactly what it was.
That's not a defense. It's
It
not
is
a
not
good
a defense, right? That means that is exactly what was on your mind.
Yep.
You just didn't mean to say it.
Because that's something that you use often.
Or think often. You don't even necessarily have to
At the
use
very
it, but
least.
that's what you were thinking.
But he probably uses it. And you
Yeah,
could the
probably.
remorse. You could tell though he
But
was remorseful. He's like, dang, I messed up. Like
I'm sure
Yeah,
he
you can see him on
was.
the steps afterwards, like shit.
rethinking his whole
Right.
life.
Yeah.
Lost another
Yeah.
nigga. I mean customer.
Neighbor.
Neighbor. Ooh.
Um, but anyway, I'd be remiss if I didn't send a heartfelt RIP
Yeah.
to Coolio.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
Mr. Old
I was.
Coolio.
I'm sorry.
Said I missed the old Coolio before the pop tunes when he was still wilding. But yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I
Could
was
we
gonna
give him
say I
legend
wasn't.
status? I think so.
I mean, sure. I mean, he sold a bunch of records.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I wasn't as
Very much a
big.
recognizable name.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I wasn't as big a fan as a lot of people were, I guess. But you know, hey, I mean, I never begrudged him his record sales. I mean, I can think of a lot whacker people who have sold
Absolutely.
as much or more. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
Mhm.
yeah.
We did a
So I don't
list.
I don't I'm sorry.
So we did a list, and Coolio was not
Yeah,
on it.
and he was not on it.
Yep.
Exactly. Um yeah, but I know a lot of people were, there was a lot of discussion. First of all, I need y'all to cut that out.
What?
When
Overrating people after they die.
not overrating somebody, but the need to tear them down. Um
Yeah.
Who's tearing
about
Julio
how
down?
people on the internet, well, he would, he sold out and he was commercial and blah blah blah.
Ugh.
Shut up.
That
Like you
shit
sell
only
out
He
means
every
made
day
something
his
to
when you
young
go
money.
to
people and
your minimum
unsuccessful
wage
people.
job. Stop it.
Man, he
No
made his
shit.
money. He paid his
you know,
bills.
I'm at
Like,
work every
right,
fucking day. Like I should have just made pop tunes. Fuck that keeping it real shit.
right. I mean, and he didn't hurt anybody.
not
It
at
wasn't like
all.
he didn't sell
Mm,
anybody out. He just decided to make music that more people would like. I mean,
let's
and
face
listen,
facts. WC and the Mad Circle was not selling records. My man had to do what my man had to do.
They do.
Only thing I'm
I
mad
mean,
about is he didn't cut them damn braids off when he started going bald.
well, I mean, that's something.
He made that part of his signature.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a problem when you do that,
Sometimes gotta
but
revamp the image.
yeah, right. But anyway, rest in peace. And I still don't know what he died of. I think the last I saw, they said cardiac arrest, which I mean,
Listen,
in the
he was
end, we
open
all
about his
die
previous drug
of cardiac
problems.
arrest.
Let's not
Yeah,
overthink it.
right. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, and that's what I was going to say. It doesn't really matter.
A side note,
But
it's a fucking hurricane out here, so I don't know how long I'm gonna have electricity, but
oh,
shout
are
out
you
to
in
the
the
East
path?
Coast. I hope all y'all doing good.
Are you in the path? I thought it was over like South Carolina or something right now. I don't know. I
Yeah,
wasn't
we're
paying
just getting a bunch of wind and rain.
in
Hopefully, it
rain.
ain't much else. Oh, there's a
And
tornado
winter's
warning
come.
for the next half hour, I think.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, I might get to meet the wizard. Anyway,
Mm.
Mm. All right.
Okay. Anything else? Any other church announcements we need to take care of?
Mm-mm.
speaking of church, you ever notice a preacher and a pimp talk exactly the same way, although the subject matter might be different?
No, because I don't talk to either.
No, but I see him on TV.
Mm,
A preacher
but
and a pimp
Just the
talk.
way
yeah,
they talk is very similar.
I don't think I've ever actually spoken to a pimp, or if I did, I don't think I knew it.
Go watch Pimps Up, Hose Down. It's available.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen it. But
Yeah.
I mean, like in the wild, in real life. I don't think I've actually ever
The
spoken
wild.
to a
I met a
pimp.
few in Atlanta.
I'm sure, but
They're
you and
funny.
I hang out in very different spaces. Um,
I know. I
I
should have
mean,
stayed in school.
well, no, there's a lot of people who stayed in school and talk to pimps all the time. But my point is, uh, my point is, I may have, in fact, spoken to a pimp in my lifetime and just didn't know that that's who he was. You know what I mean? Because I don't be paying
Mm-hmm.
attention to people like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, matter of fact, I remember I was in DC and I was sitting there. My child was like 14 months old at the time. And I was sitting there in the lobby of the hotel waiting on my mom because that's why we were in DC to see my mom. And and I was talking to this lady, just talking to her, and she was asking about my child, and we were having a conversation. And my mom came in, and we went upstairs, and my mom was like, "Oh, why were you talking to that hooker in the lobby?"
Damn.
I was like, "What hooker?" She was like, "You didn't notice that was the lady of the night?" I was like, "No, I don't really be paying attention to people like that." She
Lady
just,
of the night.
yeah. My mom was like, "You didn't notice her makeup?" I'm like, "Well, a lot of people wear too much goddamn makeup." Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't. It didn't occur to me that that's why she had on all that
That she
goddamn
was the lady
makeup.
of the night.
Right. I just thought, you know, she likes to wear a lot of makeup, which, that goes on a lot, especially, I mean, 20 years ago, not quite as much, but now, oh my God, everybody wears too much goddamn makeup.
Like
But that's a whole
smacking
nother
that shit
talk
on
show.
her with
Exactly.
them old bat wing eyelash. I can't stand those things.
Oh,
Word.
them cockroach eyelashes.
Oh, I
Ugh,
can't.
ugh. Yeah, I
Butterfly
can't do
effect
it.
joints.
Yeah.
Although I hate those things.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm like at some point there has to be a limit, y'all. Like, I don't know.
Does
Y'all
there?
friend
Because
so,
people don't
so
seem
some
to.
of y'all friends just don't like you
Right,
because
because they not telling you.
yeah, cuz I would tell you. I'd be like, that looks like something's crawling off your
You
face,
wouldn't
right?
have to tell me.
Well, no, but I'm saying if you didn't know, I would let you know. Like, I
Friends
think you probably should go a little smaller on them
on the other
lashes
side of
cuz
them.
cuz you're really creeping me out.
Ones we can depend on.
Exactly.
Like your friends don't love you. They let you leave the house like that.
Right. That's them friends
Although there
that
are people that can wear, like my daughter, it's crazy. She can wear the longest eyelashes and actually pull them off. And I just be amazed every time because she'll like pull out a pack of lashes and I'll be
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah, but it's not even necessarily the length of the lashes sometimes. It's
the density of them.
the density. Yeah, cuz some of them just look like caterpillars.
Man, they look crazy.
And I'm like, you have to know that that's wrong.
I just don't
Strong
care.
ass
Like
eyelids.
no natural human
Did you
being.
say strong?
Yeah. The motherfuckers gotta have some weight to them.
Right. And no natural human being has eyelashes that are that dense. Like nobody. Like, stop it. But anyway.
BBLs are selling apparently natural, just isn't the look anymore.
Well, I mean,
Fuck you and your
okay.
filters.
No, I was gonna say a lot of people, but that's a different thing. Now, BBLs actually are a newer technology than what like K Michelle had. K Michelle had implants, and that's what now
Went
they only
wrong.
give you implants if you just
You said
never
went
had,
wrong.
like, Like if your ass was concave to begin with, and they just didn't have shit to work with. But
Self esteem is free.
Damn,
but yeah,
concave.
right. But people are getting those removed. The implants. Like a lot of people are starting to get those removed. And just so y'all know, and I only know this because I don't know why it's not publicized more. I only know this because I like to read medical journals,
Mhm.
especially some of those earlier BBLs. I think they're figuring out a way to stop it from happening. But the earlier BBLs where they're injecting fat into they're injecting fat. That
Mhm.
fat is migrating, and so people are
Oh,
finding it.
whoa.
I'm just saying, like people are finding it in places like it'll start to go to their heart and things like that. That's
That
been a
is
problem.
terrible.
It is terrible, but you know, I mean, but look at that ass. I mean, you know, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Don't think that you can just be out here having these BBLs without consequences. There are consequences to those things. Also, and I cannot stress this enough. Anyone with a medical degree can hang up a sign and call themselves a cosmetic surgeon.
Shit,
They don't
apparently enough people
they
without a medical degree are doing it.
they don't have to be trained. Well, I'm just saying, don't think that just because they have a medical degree, they don't have to be trained in cosmetic surgery. They don't have to even be trained in surgery. You can be a dentist and hang up a sign that says you're doing cosmetic surgery. Y'all need to check these people out before you let them cut into you, inject you, or any such thing.
Or
They need
just
to be
love
board
yourself.
certified. Well, I'm saying, but there
There's
are
plenty of badly
legitimate.
built bitches getting dick and good men every day.
No, there are legitimate reasons to have cosmetic surgery. There are legitimate medical reasons to have cosmetic surgery. I'm
Yeah, but I
saying,
think, yeah, but there are more people getting that shit and don't have to.
I agree, but I'm just saying I'm not differentiating between the two. I'm saying if you're going to have cosmetic surgery, you need to check these motherfuckers out and not just assume that this shit is regulated because it's not as regulated as you think.
Yeah.
So, you know, check a motherfucker out. Board certified. Ask for credentials and then check that shit out because they'll lie.
References. Yeah.
But
Now you
anyway, I'm
know.
gonna climb
And
down
knowing is
off
half the
that.
battle.
Right. I'm gonna climb down off that particular soapbox. Um,
Yeah, let's try to get 2 topics out this week.
right. Right. Because I can talk about that, forever. Um, okay. Well, I was going to talk about asset distribution because, we are of a certain age and nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. And I was having this conversation with a friend of mine a couple of days ago who has 4 kids.
Hmm.
Okay. 4 grown children. Now, one of her grown children, um, I'm trying to say this nicely, but I guess there's no way to say it nicely.
Keep it real,
Um,
son.
ha- is a drug addict, has fallen into a life of
It happens.
substance abuse, and so there's that. So she has cut him off. Like don't come to me for money, blah 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 blah. Right?
Hmm.
Um,
So shit
she
together, nigga.
had
I
she
mean, neighbor.
has 3 other children. Of the 3 other children, one of them has a wife and I think 2 kids. One of them just got married, and then the third one. The daughter is single and still in college. Here's what we were discussing because we're of a certain age, so she felt the need. She and her husband were feeling the need to make their will, their last will and testament, and distribute their assets amongst those children.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want the drug addict son to get anything, to get any of her assets, because she doesn't believe that he'll be responsible
Okay.
with any of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their house she wanted to give to the second son who just got married. Um, because they live in an apartment. Her eldest son and his wife already have a house that they're paying a mortgage on, so she wants the second son to have the house.
Mm-hmm.
um but she wants the daughter and the first son to share the majority of the life insurance
Okay.
payouts, the cash. Okay.
Mhm.
Her husband doesn't think that it's fair to cut off the son that's the drug addict
Mm-hmm.
from anything. He doesn't believe it's fair that the second son gets the house and the other two children don't get any real estate. And he thinks that he thinks that all of the children should be represented equally in their will, in their
This is why
respective
men are
wills.
better people.
Um. Okay. Go ahead. So, how do you feel about equitable distribution? Do you think that each child should get an equal amount?
Yes. Here's a way I have it. All right, if we're going to keep it real, I have a
Okay.
surgery coming up towards the end of the year where I've been told the odds of me dying are 3 in 10,000. Pretty good fucking odds, but I'm like, they're like, okay, in case something goes wrong, make sure you have your affairs in order.
Correct.
My thing was with all the children, they don't get a direct payment. I've seen what happens when you give 18-year-olds lump sums of money. It's not a good thing. All of theirs goes into an interest bearing account and set it up some kind of way where basically
A
they get
trust.
payments for once a month for 20 years.
Right. A trust.
Yeah, so that's what you have to do with the druggy child, or I guess adult at this point. He gets payments, but everybody gets a fair amount.
Star.
I I agree with the trust. I agree with the trust, but I would go a little further with the addict child. I would probably try to establish some sort of guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that with a grown person. I mean, you can have a trustee over the money.
So
You can do that.
a
Yeah.
trustee, guardian, trustee, guardian, so that the drug addict child, if I don't know what the situation is, but if it's enough money for them to be able to, at least keep a roof or something over their head so that they'll always have a place to stay. Um, that's going to cause great division amongst the brothers and sisters
Yep.
if she leaves it that way, or if she decides to do it that way.
We've all seen people arguing after somebody dies about who should get what. And it's good for them that they're doing it in the form of a will, so there's no argument later. But
Well, that's not going to stop the argument later, which is what I pointed out. My
Nah, but it'll
thing
take some of
was,
that shit away.
my thing was, I don't understand, especially the giving the house to the second child and his wife. Um, I don't like to me, I'm like, liquidate the house and split the proceeds amongst the three, or at least, or amongst the four, or however you want to do it, um, or whatever. But she's adamant because she had that house built from the ground up. She doesn't. She wants it to stay in the family. So,
I was
I
gonna
mean,
say it's
I
property. If it's already paid for, don't fucking do that.
yes, it's already paid for. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
get
So
that.
yeah.
And it's hard to split up property. But I will tell you, when my mother passed, I, okay, there to me there's a difference between the terms fair and equitable.
Very much so.
Um, the properties that were passed to my brother and I were not equitable. In as much as one was worth more than the other. Okay.
Mhm.
The property that was passed to my brother was worth a lot more than the property that was passed to me, like in financially.
Mhm.
Not emotionally, because emotionally the property that I got, was the house I grew up, I grew up in pretty much.
Mhm.
So, I mean, to me, that was fair. You know what I mean? Like I was never like, oh, it's not. He got a house that is more than the house that. No, like to me, it was fair. It may not have been equitable. You know what I mean? But it was fair.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yep.
Um, but also, um, and I understand her desire to keep the house in the family, but and I guess I'm weird about how I feel about death and stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I understand that you have an attachment to your stuff, but I think once you pass on, or once you get, even if you're still here, once you give something to somebody else, you no longer should have like a vice grip on what happens to that item. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I gave it to you. You should do with it as you will. You know what I mean? Like I never understood people who will like give somebody a Christmas gift and then that person regifts it and then and then they get mad. I'm
Mhm.
like, why do you care? you know, you know what I
Because
mean?
they
Mhm.
Like
thought
what do you
about that
care?
person, and when they went and got it and was like, oh, you didn't like it. I thought wrong. Fuck you. You
Well,
played
I
with my
mean,
ego.
but I mean, you found a use for it, right? So like my feelings aren't hurt, but I will make a note that that is not something you liked and I will get you something different,
No, you
or
ain't
I'll
getting
try
shit from
harder
me
next
next
year
year.
or whatever. But I mean, but that's just how I am with gift giving. I know that that would hurt some people's feelings, but I just think that it's unreasonable to try to control what happens to your stuff to that degree after you pass away. You know what I mean?
As far
Yeah.
as like the trustee,
As far as the house,
as
I
far as the
want the
house.
house to
Okay.
stay, in the family. I mean, you and
Sometimes you
don't get
have
me
to save
wrong.
your kids from themselves.
And listen, don't
Yes.
get me wrong, articulating your desires is fine, but once you're gone and that child has that house, what if his wife don't want to live in that house and they just decide to sell it? You know what I mean?
Hmm. I mean, but you're
So
gone. You won't care. You can, like you said,
that's my point.
you can articulate your desires, but then
Exactly.
ultimately it's up to whoever you give it to.
But that's my point. And that being said, why not give each of the kids an interest in the house? And to Magic's point with the drug addict child, that is what I suggested. I suggested, and not just with the drug addict child, but also with the child that's still in college.
Hmm.
Nah,
I
don't get him a
suggested
lump sum.
right. I suggested trust funds, set up trusts,
Hmm.
um, and that way the trustee is the one that doles out those funds.
Hmm.
And as far as the drug addict child, you can put something in there that this money is only to be used for, like you can stipulate,
Hmm.
what the money's going to be used for instead of handing. I mean, the trustee doesn't have to hand the drug addict, $2,000 a month or whatever. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it was the same as Star was saying to keep a roof over his head. You can have the trustee be like, no, pay the rent. After
Well,
Hmm.
the
that, you don't get
trustee
no
can,
damn cash.
right? The trustee can pay the rent directly. You
Yeah.
you can stipulate that. I mean, like I think people don't people are under the impression that they can't tailor their will to their desires. I mean, if she wanted to, she could put in her will that the house is not to be sold. She. I mean, you could do that. But
But how long does that last? Like,
To
I
the next
mean,
generation.
yeah.
right, yeah, but I mean, what? I figure if you really don't want the house to be sold, the easiest way to keep that your house from being sold is to split the equity in the house amongst the four children, because they're never going to agree on who to split to
Hmm.
or whatever. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like that's just probably never
Yep.
going to happen.
Tyler Perry,
So
write the script.
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah, so probably why I only had one child, because it's just not
Nobody to
complicated.
fight over. Yep, stuff.
Exactly. It's just it's just not complicated at all as far as that goes.
Yep.
But yeah,
Topic number two.
um, well, we'll do stars because I know there's a big chunk of time that we're going to cut from this. But um,
Oh, we have to do Magics. We didn't do his last week.
oh well, he decided on a different one this week, and it's very lighthearted. But we can do his um, magic.
What? Lighthearted. Let's go.
Yeah.
Usually I'll shout out other podcasts, but I actually like this one. It's a podcast called The Podcast Brothers. Funny shit, although they don't record every week. But one of the topics they were discussing a week or two ago was what TV parent or movie parent are you the most like?
Hmm.
When it was the because Star was offended because someone said Mama Winslow,
Which
you were
I would have
she
snuffed
was
somebody off the rip.
that she was most like Mama Winslow, and I said that was the first thing that popped into my head for her.
And look, and that's crazy
You
because
need to
like I
fight
didn't
all
watch
your
that show
friends.
like that. But
Because
what I
what?
remember of her, I don't see that. I didn't watch that show like that. I didn't. I'm not a big TV watcher. I think I've probably watched more TV in the past 5 years than I've watched in my whole
Which
life.
is why I don't understand why you're offended.
I'm offended, deadbeat mom ass broad.
She's not a deadbeat mom.
She
Her
Stop
let
it.
her
daughter went
child walk
upstairs to do
upstairs and
homework
disappear.
and never came back down.
Excuse
And
me.
nobody went looking for her. She was never to be mentioned again.
Excuse me. If anyone's a deadbeat, it's her husband, the cop.
Can't they be
He didn't
both
do
as
anything about
guilty?
it.
Yes, they're both just as guilty in my book. Fuck that. How do you
Anyway,
let that baby go upstairs and never come back down?
well, I mean, they needed her room for little Richie. But
Letting
anyway,
this goofy ass bipolar child in your house to fuck with your daughter. Whack
What?
ass parents.
what?
Look, I don't remember that show.
Okay. Um, anyway,
I do not remember that
anyway,
show.
so who would you say that you're most like if that offends you?
I can't think of anyone. Like, I really can't think of anybody, honestly.
Magic? How about you?
Right now, I feel like the father from CB4.
Heck, you know.
I don't even.
Because
I
I
don't even
listened to
remember
my
that
child
movie.
rap about all the hardships he had in life, and I'm like, nigga, I grew up in the hood and had to escape. Your little suburban ass decided to be hood when you grew up. I don't
No,
understand your struggle, my guy. I put a
no.
roof over your head.
Um,
As far away from the hood as we could get.
Now, see, if we're doing movies, I would have thought you would have said Bernie Mac from House Party, but
That
I mean
crossed
not
my
Bernie
mind
Mac,
too.
Robin Harris. Sorry.
I can see that.
Yeah. Well, Bernie Mac
Um,
was wilding in House Party too.
Yeah, I
yeah,
can see
but
that too.
I
Oh,
meant
we used
Robin
to call it
Harris.
jawbone.
um, for me, I mean, I immediately thought of one person and one person only, and
Morticia Adams.
I don't know who that is.
You
She was
don't know
sexy.
who Morticia Adams is?
Oh, Morticia. I thought he said Tisha Adams. I'm like, no. I thought of Rochelle from Everybody Hates Chris because
Oh yeah.
because I'm like, yeah, that would probably be me. um,
Um, you know what mother I did think of? I thought of the mother from Bel Air, the TV show.
Light skin Aunt Viv or dark skin Aunt
right.
Viv?
Not
Oh,
You have
Bel
to
Air, Bel
not
Air,
distinguish
not the
either
Fresh Prince,
which
not the
I
Fresh
live.
Prince.
not the
Okay,
Fresh
regular
Or
Prince.
Bel Air, new Bel Air.
or oh, not the Fresh Prince, the new TV show Bel Air.
Yeah, the new TV show Bel Air.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. I was gonna
That
say,
show's good.
or you meant Will's mom because that was also, she's also
No,
funny.
not Will's mom either. Um, yeah, I think I'm a little closer to the Bel Air mom. That's the
Yeah, I
only one I
haven't
can
watched that
identify with.
show, but everybody
Actually,
keeps
pretty
saying how
good.
good it
No,
is.
that shit is
Yeah,
good.
Yep.
yeah.
I'm
So I
trying
need
to
to
think of
watch it.
Loretta Devine characters because your voice reminds me of her.
Who?
Like Loretta
Loretta
Devine.
Devine's character.
Why does
Yeah. Gotta
everybody?
be Blade Brown's mom or something.
Why does it is so crazy? People always tell me that I remind her of them. Like, anyway, I mean, I
We knew
remind
what you
them of
meant.
her.
Yeah,
You
we
was
knew what
gonna
you
get
meant.
it.
I was gonna get it. I was tired. I'm tired. But yeah, that's so crazy. People always say that to me.
Yeah, I don't see
Or
it.
either what's her name? And they actually say I look like her, and that's the one I don't see. But I've gotten that at least a good 15 to
Ooh,
20 times in my life, and that's old girl, Countess Vaughn.
Oh hell no.
no,
I
I
don't
don't see
know
that at
why
all.
people say that, but I'm telling you, I've gotten that a good 15 to 20 times in my life. They be like, the girl on Moesha. I'm like,
No,
Mm-mm.
I don't see that at
In the
all.
yeah, I
slightest.
don't either. I don't either, but
While we're confusing
something
the fuck
about
out of
me.
fans, Storm, what's your
I
celebrity
mean,
look alike? Or who do people confuse you with?
Yeah,
well,
nobody
she
confuse me with
with
nobody.
me.
Yeah.
Hell, nobody in the past 20 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
um,
go back to old shit.
yeah, nobody in the past 20 years because I've outgrown my lookalike status with anyone.
And it's a great feeling.
um, yeah, and I don't even. I mean, it's been so long since somebody said I look like somebody that I can't even tell you who it would be. Star, who would you say I look like? See, can't
Ah.
think of no one. I have a unique face,
Yeah, me,
which
and
may
I
or
was gonna say the same thing with me. I don't think I look like anybody.
may or may not be a good thing. Well, you definitely don't look like no damn Countess Vaughn. Well,
Hell
I
no.
shouldn't call her damn Countess Vaughn because
I mean, she's
you
not an
know.
unattractive
No,
woman.
I was gonna say there's nothing wrong with her. You just
I
don't look
just
like
don't
her.
think I look like her.
Yeah, you don't.
Trying to think of the plethora of people I've been called before. Savion Glover more times than once.
I can see that.
Really,
The light skinned kid from Crisscross.
I can see Savion Glover.
Doodlebug from Diggable Planets.
Wow.
And the most sickening one was Charlie Villanueva. And I'm like, yeah, no.
Whoa. Well, you should have slapped that person.
It was actually two people. And I was like, yeah, I don't see that one. But I did put a
Charlie.
side by side picture on Facebook back in the days just because it was funny to me. But no.
Yeah. Yeah, I might have had to hurt somebody.
Listen, it's amazing what a haircut can do.
I for whatever reason, my lifelong male friend, um, he says it every couple of years that for some reason or another, I don't think that he's saying that I look like her, but he says that I remind him or of Tina Turner. And I don't, yeah.
The hell you be doing
Um,
with your hair?
no, you don't put me in the mind of Tina Turner.
He's been saying that since we were like teenagers. Like for some reason or another, I make him think of Tina. I don't, but that's it.
Wow.
It's because you're in the friend zone and you want to slap your ass right now. Nah, never mind. Anyway,
I don't know how you got all that from Tina Turner, but okay.
I'm a disturbed person. I'm working
Clearly.
on me. Not really,
No, you're
but I'll
not.
say it. I actually am, but not hard. Pause.
Mm.
Yeah. I used to think it was my legs that he was talking about, but now that I don't have those athletic legs anymore, well, I mean, I guess I still do, but they're a lot fluffier, a lot more plump. Um,
Listen, you might not know what version of you he's thinking of in his head.
And I think that's it. Like you're remembering like the old me that used to run track and play basketball. And even at that, I still didn't see Tina Turner. That just I don't know. And not that she's an unattractive woman either, but I didn't
No,
see
she's
it.
not, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, me either. Not the younger version of me or the older version. I don't know.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'll just
Topic
No,
always
number
nobody
three.
nobody ever um mistakes me for a celebrity. Uh,
no, I don't get mistaken at all. That's for sure.
or nobody ever tells me that I put them in the mind of any celebrity. And part of that is because nobody ever sees me.
Ding,
Like
ding, 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 ding.
that might be part of it, but also because when they do see me, I am not likely to have on like a touch of makeup. So yeah, nobody nobody tells me I look like anybody these days.
Now, what
So
I
there's
do
that.
get is people saying at different points I sound like different people. And what I do get often is people will say stuff like, your voice, like you like have the female version of Morgan Freeman voice or something like that.
What
What?
the
Or like
hell?
I've had like a couple of people say that. But I've also had a couple of people like nickname me Girl Six. because they say I should have been.
That's good.
They say I should have been a phone sex operator. Like,
I've gotten
but
that a couple times.
yeah,
Yeah, I could see that for both of y'all.
Let's get this money.
let's
Yeah,
go.
I would be a horrible phone sex operator.
I would too. I don't
I
care
would be
what my voice
horrible at
sounds
it
like.
because I'd be like,
I'd be kicked.
"Oh,
I'd be
you nasty!"
giggling.
like,
I'd be straight.
like, ooh, why would you
Some
think
people
that's
like it that
sexy?
way.
I could
Gotta
not
stay
stay
in
in character.
character.
No, I couldn't. I'm too visual.
Yeah, and I would be laughing. I'd
They'd
be
be
like,
hanging up on me like,
"Woo!"
she's awful.
right?
I'll keep it
Yeah,
professional. People hire me.
You say you want to imagine me doing what?
right, right. You want me to say what to you? Okay.
That's terrible.
Right?
Oh,
Like,
you
have
horrible
you
people.
considered therapy? It would probably be cheaper than all
Maybe,
these calls.
maybe I'm not the person you should be talking to.
Right, right, right. You know, therapy would probably be cheaper for you, bro.
I don't kink shame.
I don't kick shame either, but I'm
Yeah,
telling
but
you, if you say it
sometimes
to
it
me,
needs to
I'm
be
gonna
said.
imagine it and I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah, me too. Yep. I have a terrible, well, I have a terrible poker face when it comes to things like that. And
Poker
people say
face.
things to me and yeah. People say things to me and like, I mean, it registers on my face look for a second because I get it together real quick when I'm in public. Somebody will say something in my face and I get it back together real quick, you know, when I'm trying, when I'm making an effort. But yeah, if you're looking at me when I first hear it, there's no yeah. Okay. So
What the
real
hell?
quick, let's talk about Star.
Yes.
You wanted to talk about a safe space for men. Aw. Aw. You need me to come pick you up, little girl. I'll come get you.
Uh,
Granny being mean. Aw.
she's
You want me to
sleeping.
spank Granny? Because I spank Granny. You know I will.
I
Record
don't
it.
want no woman spanking me.
Whatever.
Miss all the good shit.
So, safe space for men. That's not what you want to talk about?
I
Okay.
agree, baby.
Hold on one second. So, I had a friend who said that one of her friends had gotten in an argument with her boyfriend, and I guess the things had gotten heated, and she decided to take something very personal that he said to her and throw it back in her face. And
Heathen.
I thought to myself, how messed up that is, because there are so many women who feel like, you know, men don't communicate, they don't tug, they just keep stuff in and this, that, and the other. But then you have people out there who are doing stuff like that. Um, and so I'm like, why is it that there are some people who feel like, men's feelings are less, I don't know, like they're less vulnerable, or like they don't get hurt as easily as we do, or whatever the case may be. My friend had used the word not human. Like that's not, if you throw it back at them, it's not supposed to hurt them. Like a lot of people feel like that. And so they feel like it's okay uh, to throw stuff back in their faces. But there are a lot of men who don't say and don't express themselves because of stuff like that. And I just wanted to know what the two of you thought.
Well, I feel like we talked about this 4 on some
Have we?
level, but maybe
Yeah,
not.
I don't remember it.
Um, but here's what I think. I think that if anybody tells you some vulnerable information in
Mm.
confidence and you throw that shit up in their face, you are a horrible person.
That
I,
indeed.
I don't care who it is.
Word.
Like, I wouldn't do that to my enemy.
Yeah.
Cause that shit is off limits.
Yeah.
Like why would you're a terrible person if that's some shit you're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how I feel about that.
Seek therapy.
But I mean, it's not like when it comes to like a relationship, and like I said, just men in general. Um, why do you think that a lot of people feel that way? Like it's okay, you know?
I don't think it's just a man thing, honestly. I think people feel like if their feelings are hurt or if they're hurt, then it's fair game for them to lash out in any way possible to
That's
inflict
exactly it.
pain on the person that, hurt them. I think
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
what it is. I don't think that it's just about men. I think it's a people problem.
got it.
That is a big thing. Yeah, yeah, you hurt my feelings, so now I have to say something that hurts yours, so we're even, which gets anybody nowhere. The
Exactly.
other big picture is non-gender specific whatsoever. Y'all motherfuckers got to get better at living your truth. Like, we've all been through some shit, and some of it was fucked up, and you have to be comfortable going, all right, that happened. I made it through it. I'm in a better place now. You can't throw that shit back in my face because it doesn't bother me. I once heard a psychiatrist say people can only hurt your feelings with things you believe. So
Right.
if you believe I'm fat and there's something wrong with that, then when somebody calls you fat, your feelings are hurt. If you
Mhm.
like, all right, I'm big, I'm cool with that. Person calls you fat, so what the fuck you talking about?
That's how I am. I'm like,
Right. Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
something
Like,
else?
yeah. Somebody calls me fat. I'm like,
That's
okay, what? You think I don't
and
have a mirror? Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. People
this
can
is
only hurt you
this is
with
not
things you're
breaking
insecure
news.
about. Don't be insecure about
Right.
reality, motherfucker.
Exactly. No, I mean I totally agree, and I think a lot. I was gonna say a lot of that comes with age, but not necessarily because
Everybody
I know
matures
people
at
who have
their own
never
rate.
grown out of it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, there's very little that you could say like to hurt me personally at this point in my life. Now, I will say I was privy to an internet discussion at some point where some dude, I don't know, I think it was on Twitter. It would have had to have been on Twitter, and I don't even know how I even saw the discussion because I make it my business for my
Come to
algorithm
the dark
to be
side.
clean. Um, Matter of fact, I think it might have been Magic's fault.
Yeah, okay.
Well, no, I'm serious because, yeah, you fuck up my algorithm sometimes.
You're
But,
welcome.
but, but some dude had tweeted out that when a woman tells him that he has a little dick or whatever, um, he already knows that. What did he say? He said women only tell men that they have a little dick to hurt their feelings. Men shouldn't get upset about it because it's probably not true. To which I
You
laughed
have
because
to
I'm
know
like,
objectively.
well, I mean, sure, there's some of that, but my point is that a woman's not going to say that to you unless she thinks it's going to hurt you. And she's only going to think that it's going to hurt you if it's true. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna say to someone with a big, who has obviously a big dick, "You little dick motherfucker," because he'll be like, "Yeah, whatever."
And you
That's
ain't
not
gonna
gonna
think
hurt
nothing
him.
of it.
Yeah, exactly. You're
Actually,
only
if
gonna
it's
say
really
that,
like that, chicks will go, it's not that big. Like, okay.
and that's what I mean. But you're not gonna call him. You're not gonna say it's little, because you only want to. Because if you're saying something to hurt somebody, there's going to be truth in what you say. You know what I mean? So I kind of laughed when I saw his tweet, because I'm like, okay, there's somebody with an inflated sense of what he's working with. Because
Get your tongue game right, my guy.
I'm like, because if women are telling you this, it's probably true, and they're just trying to hurt you with it.
But they wasn't mad when you was giving it to them. When?
Or maybe they were and just didn't say shit about
Uh-uh.
You think that bothers any man on earth?
it. What, that they didn't say shit about it?
Like, if you know you have a little dick, I would imagine if you got the pussy, you still like, I got the pussy.
You would imagine that, but I mean, dudes are sensitive. Dudes be sensitive about the silliest stuff. You think I'm
I
lying?
would think
Go tell a
size would be
short man.
something to be sensitive about. I don't know.
Go tell a short man he's short. Even worse, tell an average size man. Call an average size man short.
Well, that is
Boy,
offensive.
they don't like that.
No, they don't. Like somebody that's about 5'10" or so.
5'10", yeah, 5'10", 5'11", in that range. Man, you would swear you slapped their mama.
Yep.
Can't relate. Ha! Anyway,
No,
How
you
tall
can't.
are you?
6'4",
Oh no, you
barefoot, because niggas be lying.
can't.
Yeah, like you barely made the cut, but
Barely
you
made
made
what
it.
cut?
Congratulations.
It's always some fucking 5'2" chick talk about niggas got to be 6'7". Stop it.
I didn't say you have to be 6'7". I said you're not tall
You say
unless you're
you have to
6'4".
I go 6'2" or 3", but whatever.
Well, see, I think I would call someone 6'2" or 3" average height.
I believe the average
But
height for men in America is 5'10", if I remember correctly.
yes, average height for men in America. That ain't what I be talking about.
She talking
What
about
part of
average
Africa are
height
you running
for
through?
men.
You from
What?
Switzerland? What we talking?
What'd you say,
I
Star?
apologize. I was like, you're talking about your average man, not the American.
Exactly. But I
Because it's
mean,
your.
if you're under 6'4", my propensity to see you as tall is not going to be there. It's just not. And
Then you're
I'm,
5'6".
what does that have to do with anything? I didn't
You
say I
have to
was
look
tall.
up at anybody
Did I
6'1".
say? Did I call myself tall?
That's not what
No.
I'm saying. I'm saying
Okay.
Although you do
objectively,
seem taller
anybody
than
you have to
5'6".
look up to should be considered tall.
That is very much not the case.
Okay.
I was gonna say that's most people for me.
Yeah, that is not the case. But see, you have to understand my family. I grew up in a family of tall people. So when I see somebody who's 6'1", 6'2", in my head, that's an average height for people.
Ah,
That's just average. You know. My brother is 6'4". So if you're not as tall as my brother, you're not tall in my mind.
All right, we got your logic down.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like if you're under 5 foot, like my mom was taller than. If you come to my house and you're 5'10", my mom was looking down on you.
Man.
So in my mind, when I see that, you're short, right?
shout out to Mona.
Right. No.
But anyway, and also,
That's all.
my good friend Mona,
Get it right.
you're right. she would be looking down on a 5'11" dude. So,
Damn.
Which she should.
well, but no, but I'm saying, so when I'm surrounded by these people and they're all looking down on you, my perspective is that you're short.
While you're looking up.
I'm looking up at all of them. So, what difference does that make?
Perspective. It's a thing.
That's what I'm saying. But my perspective is what I see, and what I see is people looking down on you. So, now,
Okay.
if I'd grown up in a household full of motherfuckers that was 5'6", if you were 5'10", I'd probably think you were tall. You know, you know what I mean. But that just is not my reality. So,
All right, folks. If you like the show, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell a hoe. And if you don't, tell everybody you know 3, 4, 5 times. It is the Threesome Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, the Threesome Pod on Twitter. You can go on Anchor and leave us voice messages. Thanks for
please.
listening. Holla next week.
Yeah, you need to go put a baby to sleep. And you, sir, are you?
Go put a grown woman to sleep.
Oh, yeah, do that. I'm going to walk a dog.
Walking the dog.
Oof.